Hello, good morning. Welcome back to our CSCI 3 whole 52 malware analysis. So today we'll move on to do our advanced static from our advanced static analysis to the static advanced dynamic analysis. And if you remember last time we will check the files will be the dropper. Okay, so we will use the new tool slightly just recap what we did last time. We will try to use the hacker post tool, and then like to check slightly overlap a little bit with the dynamic analysis, right? And for today, we will introduce really like powerful and really useful tool which is called the debugger. So debugger is not only using for the software development, but also we can use it for our malware analysis like reverse engineering. If you did use like for like using for debugging for our writing for high level advanced language, right? And for this debugger also can use it for slightly low level, and what we focus on will be the assembly language. And just make sure the location of this if you already installed a VM. So let me close the debugger right here. It will under your directory like tooth. Okay, so tooth, and then you go to the folder debugger. And actually there's pretty a lot of the only debugger, or the one we were using will be start with the 32-bit debugger DBG. Okay, so we got to open it, and here's the GUI. That's how it looks like. And of course, when you use it, just some like basic introduce this application. So let me change, maybe like go to option, maybe I change to the film, go to dark, and then, or of course, if I want, I can change the font slightly bigger of the tab, slightly goes bigger. Okay. For this one, remember, we try to maintain, we will break into two parts. So, for the next week, we will cover will be using the INetSim. So, if you remember, so if you have not yet set it up, or if you have to test it, remember to have the INetSim. So, if you are using the Windows like Intel for AMD, then you'll be fine. You can install it. But if no, then you can install the ARM version Ubuntu. Okay, and then you can using apt install and install the INetSim. Okay, so you can install it by yourself. And remember to set up the config. So that's what we covered in our previous like basic dynamic analysis. Okay, also we will open the Wireshark. Okay, the Wireshark to monitor the traffic. Slightly recap what we did before. So for the advanced, we will use this one X32 debugger. So we will using this one to open the file. Okay, so the file we will test will be the under the PMAT, the labs under like advanced dynamic analysis. Okay, so under analysis, and just need to unzip it and put it to any location. Maybe this time I just place it to the desktop. Okay, because I already because I tried to test it, so actually I already like put it um on my desktop location. Of course, you can put it anywhere, you know, like maybe under the directory. So I also have like can I unzip it right here. So either way, so it's fine. Okay, and when we can start to load the file. So either way it's fine. Then you can using open files, or like using the shortcut icon right here, so we can open it. And when you open it, so remember if by default we try to logging the executables, that means the exe file or DLL or dynamic link. Okay, so you need to change to all files and then choose it. Okay, so once you choose this file, and we'll able to look to see some information. Okay, content. Okay, and you are not really need to change the file extension like from ext to melc. Okay, so melc is okay because the debugger still able to like detect it and then able to like figure out. Okay, so and then we change to our assembly language. So I would like to introduce this like UI. So in this part, we'll be like loading on the CPU. Okay, so this like belongs to CPU. They're executing the instruction one by one. So we'll be showing right here, and then there's some showing the jumping, and then you see the EIP right here from which part to which part, and then from there. Compare with the static. Okay, static one when we're using cutter, if you remember cutter, later part we also try to compare with cutter the content and looking for some the words like keywords like we maybe for the function like instruction call or something like using jump. Okay, and there's like the actual instructions running on the CPU. And on the right hand side, right here, you will see the will be stored on the memory. So right here, they were showing the when we really executing. So you start from the EAX, if you remember EAX, EBX, ECX, EDX, DBP. You know the extended base pointer, ESP, ESI, EDI. So all these will be the register using. Okay, so when they load into it, so when you try to execute later run it, then you will see they are changing the value, and then EIP, and then extension instruction pointer. So you will see with the next address, like memory address, going to execute. So they're putting right here, and of course there are more, and then this one is the stack. So if once you like keep running on it, then the stack will be like adding more data. So this one with the stack, and this one is the dump. Will be like in the hex file. We are not really touching this part, so we don't have to really like focus on this like the dump hex. Okay, and mainly will be 3 part of it, and that's like what we're going to check. Okay, so if you remember from the EPX, and then we got the value ESP, so will be right here. So these are other information that we are going to check. Okay, and certainly if you remember in last week when I try to execute, there's one thing even I turn off because I realized one thing. For the Windows Defender, I have to like go back and trace the defense record because in the virus protection, if you go to the protection history, and sometimes if the threats they being detected like under quarantine, and then maybe they put it, so even you turn off the Windows Defender, it still will like try to quarantine file. So why not it didn't happen? Okay, so you didn't see it. Okay, but if you try to execute, because once you use the debugger load it, so you see pop out, and then there's a terminal pops out. So when you try to execute, okay, so just like remember to turn it off, or like if you did quarantine before, then remember to restore it. Okay, move it back. So far we already introduced the UI, or like what the information we see. Then we'll move on to about like some really common some function debugging we use. So after we open the file, load all the files, right? So we mainly will execute from the debugging will be run. So you can either use the shortcut. So when we try to execute, we run like F9, or like if you jumping. But for debugging, okay, for this debugger, we can like go into the next one like keep running to running next instruction. But only one thing is we cannot trace back. Okay, so for the reverse, for doing our dynamic analysis, like for checking on the instructions, so we have no way to like say, okay, let me go back to the previous instruction. Only one thing we can do is like we can restart it. Okay, so let's say after we execute because my check might have a slightly issue, but for this moment, because I try to trace back the snapshot. Okay, but if you're executing and or you can show me like how yours look like. Okay, so maybe you can like use thing one and then run, and suppose like they will create some like there's a thread and then some entries, and once you try to execute, and they will show what's the entry point, and they have some like code, but not it's not really working in my this moment. Okay, but later if you see like sometimes there's some like comments showing what they're going to do, and then they will show like for certain status, so we show there's an entry like NT DLL and then for certain location and then passing the parameter, okay, like this. Okay, and maybe right here uh, and if I after I execute certain procedure, if I say okay, I have to go back and I want to check, so either I can like using restart, so we can go back, and then once we restart, then you see the terminal pops out, so you see okay, it's executing. So yes, second parcel will be like we may be using one F9, and then of course you can pause it F12, but most commonly we're using like Control F2, or like you have to stop it so we can close it. And here's one thing, is called step into and step over. Okay, so mainly like step into, you can use like F2. So step into, if you remember, sometimes when we try to create if you remember when we execute the dropper. Okay, so the files after we try to execute it, and actually it tries to create another like exe file. So if you remember, so this like dropper actually quite got the word fault, right? So it's the error report application like using for the Microsoft, like we put it in and then we create another one, the fake one, and injection try to connect to it. So if you can go to execute, okay, because might have some issue right here, so it couldn't like run it. But if I would like to see how yours, if you start to like execute and then it will going to like jump into the next form, is like calling the have a call API, and then after you're able to execute it, and you will see like maybe their calling function, and you can choose the step into. So step into will be the F7. So you see, okay, what's the details, like what you're going to execute, creating the before file under the public directory. If you remember, under the user public directory, so we can be execute it. Okay. Of course, if you want to see, also we can like pass it into it. So that's what we're going to do. And for the next part, okay, so we will like if able to execute. And one more thing is like for the breakpoint. Okay, so if we going to execute it, and sometimes when we start and run, so we can try to use it right here. We can set up the breakpoint and then check it. So if you see, maybe I want to see this I call the NTDL. Maybe if I think it's like looks like pretty ambiguous or like pretty interesting, then maybe I would just like put it right here, or sometimes maybe a location I can press the dot right here, so I can set the breakpoint. Okay, so maybe I can set for breakpoint. So once you execute it, like let's say there's some like call, maybe let's say right here, and then maybe I will have another, like let's say I have a jump condition. Okay, jump somewhere. Okay, so if I put all the breakpoint right here, and you will able to see, okay, all these like breakpoint, they stop it. So as a first one, you see they will start from the one time the entry point. So right here is called the dropper. Okay. Download from URL exe. So yeah, come with the location. So here will be the entry point. Okay, so entry point right here. And of course, if we do not need it, then we can just like delete the entry point. So or like you can like remove or just like delete one of it. Okay. So of course right here we are now using it. So maybe we will like delete all the breakpoint. Okay. So let's like go back, reload it one more time. Okay. And let me put it right here. Select the okay. And let me see, because right now we have two students joining right here. So I would like to see I would like to check, do you have debugger on your VM? And I will give you some time so you can try to load the files and check, look at it. Okay. And let me know if you have any issue to open this part, and could you like execute. Okay, because right now for my snapshot right here, I have some maybe like for my have a slight issue, so it couldn't like jump to the call, but it only stay on the entry. So I would like to see yours. Okay, so if you are like following and doing so, at least try to execute this part. And slightly try to recap. Let me open. So if you remember the cutter, right? So the cutter, so we are using for the our like our advanced static analysis. So we will try to UI. So let me close this one. Okay, so let me go back and then I'm not going to discard it. Okay,
Does it
so
matter if we have the X32 or the X40 or X64?
I'm running the X32.
32, okay.
Yes, okay, so you try the X32. So you want to try to execute it, and okay, so when you're doing it, I will open the cutter. So if you remain the cutter, and so these files will be on my desktop. So right here, open, check it by default. Okay, so just like compare with our the cutter like doing the static analysis, maybe start with the assembler. Okay, we will decombine. So from the entry point, if we show the graphic, right? So we will try to look into it, and we can search for the main. Okay, looking for the main. Okay, so for the main, and then we'll mainly see they'll try to like push like the Mozilla. So this one will be the run it, and then we try to looking for the system, like what is the telling, what's the internet open W. Okay, so this one try to call the connection, and then also we try to like push the like for parameters into it. So right here, so this part, okay, and then later they will try to create another file like dot files, okay, and set the connection. And I would like to like you can try to execute it and see like could you able like to run it and then run it line by line of the instruction. So right now I'm executing, so this one will be running from the EX. So this one will moving the AL after matrix. If you're able to like run it, you will see on this part will something like that. So it was the entry point and then the core. Okay, so it should be matched with the one like after we execute the main. So we try to see we will try to like push it. So let's see if we can find it. Okay. So if you're doing it, let me try to reset mine. Let me go back to my snapshot. Okay. And I will let me go back to the snapshot. Okay. Let me go back to it. As far as say, if you find those like after we look at the interface, the UI of the debugger, and then after we load the files and pretty common, you use like those like debugging commands. Let's say how we run it. Okay, F9. Okay, next, and it will give like one next instruction. And in case like we have to start like over. Okay, so you maybe like restart it to execute one more time. And that's we going to, and then also we will set up the breakpoint, because like sometimes when we execute to certain like maybe just some instruction, but we say okay, I have to like roll back to certain instruction. I see okay, so to check the behavior or something. But like we are kind want to like let it stop like the breakpoint, so we can use the jump run next to it, so we can use the breakpoint to set up. Right, so you can like try to add if you find something like pretty interesting, like looking for something, instruction. So we want to observe, then you can add the breakpoint. Okay. Since I remember this copy will quarantine. Okay, because like for some protection history, so it will quarantine. Let's see the dropper right here. So I need to reinstall it. Okay. So if you see what I'm doing right now, so I'm trying to reinstall the some they will see that some threads they are being quarantined. So even I already turned off. So you will see right here my defenders already like turn off. So all these like I need to turn it off one more time. So right here is on. So you see if like it pops out, you say okay, even everything already off, but why it still pop up the like say okay, some when we try to execute. So it's like being quarantined. Then here's the reason, maybe in the previous history in the thread history, they already like put in quarantine. So even you try to execute one more time, so it will still going to like printed. Okay, let me change this all time. Okay, yes, okay, yes, okay. So let me check which step. Okay. Over here, let's see. And if you remember, here's the dropper. Okay, so actually the file is using the same for the advanced static analysis and our advanced dynamic analysis. Okay, so if you remember last time what we did, we tried to change the extension, right? So we changed the extension, and we also tried to use the process hacker. Okay, the process hacker to get the files right here. So the next step, so after you open it, so we will also would like to see, okay, the files we already created. And also I will open the cutter before we execute it. Okay, right here. So yeah, I need to roll back to this snapshot. So I just make sure we're okay.
You just downloaded the debugger from SourceForge, or did you use a GitHub repo?
I'm using the Fair VM.
Oh, the Flare VM.
Yes, the when you install Fair VM, so you already install the debugger, so under the tool. So if you don't have it, so we can try to search it. Okay, okay, right now the VM my connections. No internet connection. So you're now running the Fair VM. Because I remember last time you also have to install the cutter, right? Is it?
Yes, I have Cutter installed.
Mhm. Okay, but how about the debugger?
No,
No. Okay,
I have
so
to
you have to
probably re-roll my snapshot again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we have the process like this. And then see, 42. We have debugger right here, so you can check. So 42. It should like pretty similar, so you can download either like six. But we need both like 32 and 62. Let me search some. But last time we download from the source. So I need to see if they have the 32. Okay. So if you execute, okay, before execute, so let me open the 64 debugger to 64-bit. So depend system. Okay, so it would be a similar UI, just like this one executing on the like 62-bit. So you can change the same like slightly to dark theme. I think it looks better on me. Okay, you can change it, and then you can open the files. And this time I already changed the exe file, and then let's see. Okay, right here. So after we execute, drop a exe. Okay, so I have the ransom detector. So you see it already like pops out. So I have to put it back. Well, for this version, I already installed some application. It will be more convenient, but have to either have to roll back and then install all this. Okay. Let me open one more time. If you remember the C, okay. C use public. So normal is the directory. Okay, so let's see if we close it. And if you remember last time, let me go to the directory. I have to reinstall it, put it back. Okay, I still not yet able to see it. So in case you have some files being quarantined, and then I need to put it back right here. I couldn't find it, then I will try to load it one more time. So open it right here, and then gonna put it on the desktop. Press it, okay. On the desktop. Do one more time. Okay, it should be right here. Okay, good job. I couldn't find it. Okay. So if we execute it, it's gonna disappear. Okay, because I'm right now trying, but I feel like okay. Let me try one more time. Okay, right here. Hit print and then no more. One more time the files. The files we are using will be the same, so you can use either one will be fine, but let me try to load one more time. Dropper, okay. Next, and then let me load one more time. Although we should use image. if you're working on it, then that's okay. So you can follow. But right now I have two files, and let me try one more time. Go back to the defender and double check is already off. Okay, and let me trace back to the production history. We installed, okay, I have some action already installed the quarantine items. Okay, group 3, let me CGI. Okay, so you see when we install the VM, there's some items there undertook they also being reported. Okay, so like under quarantine, so I try to restore some of them. Okay, let's see if we can try to run it. Let me see where some of the action item do have something. Okay. There's some of that put a long time ago. Okay, so let's use the debugger. If you remember last time we will debugger factor. Let me open it. Okay, so file. This time I would like to check the desktop, and then we check all the files. And this time let's see, we open the stage. So allow on device. With this camera for today, we try the loading and then looking for certain contents, and of course, like for the next one, we will try to connect with the NetSim, okay, to simulate the network connection and see what the files. And if you remember when we try to execute the files, so right here actually you see all the instructions. So if we have some parameters, you will see they will like push when they have a call function, and then they require the parameters, and then we will like have a push before we call it. So you will see, and sometimes if we have like unconditional jump or like return from the they some like execution and calling files will be like right here, and in this moment it will like stay right here. The EIP will be like stay right here in this part. And for my build and test, no, another one, it will be working fine, but on mine is not really. But I'm not so sure if on your VM if you are able to execute it or run it to see it. So I would like to know if you're able to do that. And we'll move on. Okay, so let's see if you are able to execute it and run it. And I already post related to this one. Okay, this part. So the assignment actually 2 weeks, because the next we will cover a little more. So we will execute the NSCM, or we can open the Wireshark to like monitor checking. And if you remember, if we try to execute, let me close the debugger, and then we have the process hacker. Okay. So we're running the process hacker. If we will be running it, then execute this one. Okay, so you see, remember we execute the reform. Okay, so it want to quarantine the files one more time. Let me allow it. And once you see the process comes out, then let's go to see how to, and let's see if they're being quarantined or still exist. No. Okay, let me try to execute one more time. Okay, so we have a execute file right here. And let's run our debugger. Our computer C drive user, and then on the public. So right now we have the exe file. Okay. From my version, I have some right in. And then I will. Okay, because in this moment I can I still have some issue. So just like I can telling you if you try to looking for files. Okay, so if you remember, we try to look it the static analysis, try to look at it, and then with the entry points. Okay, so when they create a file, sometimes they will try to like handle it and then looking. Well, let's check their graph. Let's go to main. Okay, so they maybe try to download something running the process. Like if you remember for the job process, we will get the by default, because we have the Microsoft right our reporter, and then we have the process, and then based on the original process, we'll create a virtual process, extend it from the virtual memory, so we get the same process ID. So if you remember this part, and if we are able to load it, and then suppose that we can jump later in the next week, no, because we will execute on the not next week, on the coming on Thursday. So we will continue to the next part. We'll be running our on our Ubuntu system. So will be either like if you or install it, the Linux, or if you don't have it, or because let's say you're running on the ARM, like just like my when I showing you, I'm running it on the my Apple M4 silicon processor, so I cannot install that one, okay, on mine. So I need to like install by myself. So you can set up and then turn the NSA change config. So like the two VM image right here can able to like connect to each other's communicate, so we can simulate the network connection. Okay, and let me go back. So but right now I couldn't mine can show you, but let me switch back to the dropper, show you the cutter. Okay. Open. So once you run the debugger, okay, so you can run the debugger and then try to compare to find the from the entry, and then goes to the main. Okay, so let's see if you're able to find the once you try to execute run the instruction, and let's see if you're like able to find the first part is the internet open W right here. So if you open right here, so you will see passing the parameter like the string Mozilla. So this one is trying to open the browser and then checking the connection. So let's see if you're able to find this part. Okay. Try it one more time. And I already post, so if you're working on this part and okay, so because the time, so I would like to, these are two assignments, so it will kind of like overlap it. So one is about the lab, so it's a more like observation because let you like keep checking on the progress. So for our advanced dynamic analysis, this files, so I would like to like let you using a debugger and I already post it. So I already post the files under the A6. So just telling you maybe using the debuggers and then try to execute and run the files. And I have some questions. So like just tell me what's the some observations or like found anything. So if you try to execute some any parts that interested, let's say when you execute, so you will see like we try to use an internet open and then set a breakpoint and you can just like answer something about the observation. Okay, so I'll see just like if you are executing. So this part including on our coming Thursday. So hopefully you can answer the questions or um just like more like it would be the lab activities like assignment. And then the second part another question I already upload, so you should able to see it. Will be the new one will be the schema. So is if you see the files, okay. So you need to use that based on what you um learned before, and then like using a cutter debugger, and then to answer some questions. I already like post the questions. So make the screenshot, some observations. Okay. Okay, so what the data is, so pretty short question. Okay, this one. And this one I'm not going to show in the our lab in a class. Okay, so that's what you need to like answer. I already like make it available, so kind of like overlap a little bit. Okay, so because I just check the schedule because we only have including this week, so we have like 4 weeks left. Okay, and of course we do have some more files going to do analysis and check. Okay, so we still like have some progress to working on it. I'm not so sure if you are or like check if you are able to execute and open it and able to find this part because I feel like my debuggers and my version right now have slightly some issue. Cannot really open it, so I wish on yours you're able to see it and run it. Okay. Okay, I have question. Okay, so probably I will roll back from the snapshot. So I'm not gonna save it and then I will roll back. Okay, so for the rest of time, so I will let you to do it. So because we have introduced a new application, so will be the debugger. Okay, and then check, and then you need to like compare with the cutter. Okay, and also sometimes if you want to check the process, we can like use the process hacker tool to monitor the files. Okay, or some like executions. And yeah, we have like two other students right here. So if you're working on it, so you can like you have your own time to work on it. Okay. So if no other question, then I will stay right here, or like you can like stop the Zoom meeting. You can keep on working on it. So either way would be fine. So please let me know, and I will keep like checking. So I will mute my mic and try to stay on my right here. So until I see the student there or left, then I will end the sharing. Okay, or when the time's already. Okay.
I'm
And
probably gonna
okay,
go offline, Professor.
okay,
I'm having to
okay.
re-snapshot my Flare VM a couple of different times to
Uh-huh.
work on it. So I'm just gonna go work on
Okay. Okay, I understood. Me too. Right now, I have some issue. Because my
that.
debugger suddenly crashed. Okay, so if I want to show you, I couldn't show you one more time. Okay, so
Right.
okay, then maybe I'll end, and you can do it later. Okay, I know for mail and access, lots of issue, like especially VM different version. So I understood. So try our best and try to execute. Okay,
All right.
and
Thank you, Professor.
okay, no problem. Have a good one. Okay, bye. Then I will end the sharing right now. Okay, bye.